Alright, YouTube, as oops, zoom back out. Just wanting to get the heater core out of my wrecked car here, and thought, oh shoot, I should make a video of this in case somebody ever actually has to get one out. So let me get the hood propped up. Oh, here's a little tip. If normally this hooked to your bottle here, and you have this bottom clip here, and you got this top one. Most people are going to be using this top one, but if you want to raise your hood up higher, this is meant to pop out, and you want to pop that out so you don't mess up your cord. So most of the time people are using this one up here, but if you are going to use the bottom one, take the clip off of here first. Also, these things, for some reason, I have a hard time finding them, so if anybody knows the source for those little Y's there, if not, keep an eye on it. Or, you know, you don't want to break that or anything. Okay, so the first thing, this is a lot easier when you have your engine out, but this is good for you because you can kind of see and get right at the players involved. Let me go. I'm gonna get some gloves, and then I'll pick this up and show you what I'm gonna do in here. Alright, got some gloves and toolbox and stuff. And I got that, I think it's called an evaporator bottle. Got that bottle out of the way so you can see better. Now this is video is kind of to give you an overview. A lot of times just understanding what you're trying to do will help you get it done. And I actually haven't done one of these on a Civic. I've done one on a Cord, and I've got a video out there. It was a lot of work on the Cord. The hardest part about this job is taking out the dash. But by seeing what I'm doing, hopefully you can get an idea of the things that you need to do. And a couple other points too is watch this whole video, because I'm probably going to make some mistakes because I'm not going to edit this. I'm just shooting it, and so if I do something wrong, I'll tell you later on in the video I did it wrong. So first thing I want to show you is this bolt back here. That one needs to come out, and that should be holding the heater core in it. Now when I say I haven't done this before, I'm just kind of guessing that that's the one going in the heater core because it makes sense, but it could be this one or this one. Well, these don't have nuts on it. I'm almost certain that's the right one. So if I'm wrong, I'll point it out later on. But there's a clip right here, and this is good to know. This is on cords like this too, and this is pretty much all the Civics are similar setup. So you just clip that off. And what this is the cord. This is how you control whether or not your coolant goes into your engine or your cabin or not. This is just a little manual valve, and it just slides forward and back, and I don't know which way is which. One's closed, one's open, and so when you're adjusting your heater, you're adjusting how much fluid's going into your engine bay right there. And this is a super good design, and I have not had any issues with these. Now, the newer cars, they like to do weird stuff like, well, this cable setup's too old, so they'll put a little electric motor trying to run all this stuff, and those motors go out, and then you get a $1,000 job out of it. So I don't like replacing things that kind of rambling here, but I don't like replacing things that are known to work and they work well. I think manufacturers spend their time replacing things that they know fail, and fail often, but they don't like to do that. So anyways, it's a good design and it works. So now this cable is going to lead to your engine bay, and it's pretty tight right now. Also, if you're wanting to do this, you want to probably drain your coolant, because you're going to get coolant all over. And I don't know if I don't have the right pliers for this, but I'll give it a try. So you'd want to, yeah, this will work. So I just squeeze these tabs here. I'll show you when I get the other one off. I don't have, these aren't quite very good pliers for doing this. And this is what I wanted to show you. See, there's just see these two tabs right here? So you just squeeze them together. So then what you want to do is, these have probably been on there since 1995, so they're going to be tied off to get some pliers. What you do is you get yourself a little bit bigger channel locks or something, you grab this and you rock this back and forth, and that'll break that free. I don't think it's going to be loose enough for me to do. Yeah, it's on there really tight. But so you'll need to pull these hoses off. So I'm going to take this screw off and then pull those two hoses off. And again, you saw me flip the clip down and take the cable off there. And then that should be it for the engine bay. Now if you're doing this, when you pull those hoses off, you're going to get a lot of radiator fluid coming out, so you want to make sure you got something to catch that in. Also, if you're doing this, you'd most likely have to do all this from this angle right here, because you know you'd have your engine in the way and everything. But again, this was just to help you see what you're up against. So let me pause the camera and get some tools and get that stuff taken care of. Alright, so I took that bolt off there, or excuse me, that nut, and just set it right there. And that was a 12 millimeter. Came off really easy. I wanted to show you this. These are brass or copper. I'm not sure which one, but they bend really easy. So I don't know. I didn't squeeze it that hard, so I'd be surprised if I did that. But I could have done that. It got bent up there, and that was, you remember me just showing you how to try to twist that off. Now these hoses, especially if they're original, are going to be pretty old to begin with, and probably should be replaced. So I didn't feel bad about not trying to save them, because you know they're not that expensive. They are kind of. I would definitely go with the OEM ones on this one, because when I was doing that Accord, these hoses will so they got bends and stuff to them, and they'll fit up perfectly where you're supposed to go. If you just go out and buy you know, inexpensive heater hose, it'd work, but you're going to be fighting it to try to make things line up. So save yourself some headache. Just get the OEM one, because it'll be bent to the right bends and everything. Like if you were to try to get the bend right over to here, you'd be fighting that and stuff, and you'd probably end up with a kink in it anyways. And I wanted to show, I'm just going to have to probably explain this, because I don't think I can do this with one hand. But first thing is, in the back here there's a gasket, which if you're going to reuse that, you don't want to cut it. And if you do, it's not a big deal, because these gaskets aren't that expensive. But what you want to do is shave off your, like this hose, what I'm going to do is cut it closer, and then you just take your blade and just put it right back there, try to feel that, and then just cut it forward and just run it a couple times, and then you can just peel that hose off. That's probably the easiest way to get those off, because those, especially older heater hose that's going to be stuck on there for that many years, is just not going to come off. And if you try grabbing it the old-fashioned way, you know, twisting it loose, you're just going to bend that up. Luckily, in this case, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to use that heater core for an experiment. And if you're taking one out, most likely it's bad anyway, so that's why you're taking it out. That being said, is if you make this unrounded, it might be harder to pull through. So I think I wouldn't even put a pair of pliers on there. Just cut the hose and then get the old hose off without damaging that. Anyway, so all I got left to do in the engine bay is cut this off here. I already cut that one off. Okay, got that final hose off, and again, you got that rubber gasket there. I'll show it to you when I take it out. Oops. And again, what you want to do is just kind of saw into it, gentle. Keep working your way back, because it looks like this is part of the hose when you're cutting away on it. It's not. And if you saved it, you could probably get away with not having to get a new one, save some money there. And just kind of gently cut your hose there, and then peel it off. And you can tell the hose is really stuck, because I had to peel all the way off there. But if you just, you know, like I said, cut it off flush here, and then I kind of work my way this direction. And then when you get to the back, you'll feel it. Then you'll be able to peel the hose off. And oh, here's one. This is what I'm talking about. It gets a nice clean cut. Just cut this off here, and then just start slicing. You want a nice clean razor, and then you'll actually, this gripped all the way around, so it just kind of peeled off like a big band-aid. So anyways, and just using the cutter here, just want to make sure you have a nice new sharp blade on there. Anyway, so that should be it in the engine bay. So next I'll go inside. Okay, here we are on the inside, and so what you have to do is you have to pull the dash. The dash has already been pulled in this car, so you have to watch another video on YouTube, how to pull a dash. Again, you can watch my Accord one, but that's for a different kind of car. So just go out there and look for like a 95 Civic, how to pull the dash. I saw the guy do it. I haven't actually pulled a Civic dash. But essentially you basically gain access, remove some side screws, and then the thing pops out. Watch my Accord one and it'd be like that, but it wouldn't be as big. So the first thing, some of the players involved in this, if you're doing this, all this yellow stuff is normally attached to your airbag sensors. So you want to get a manual, read how to safely disconnect your airbag so you don't hurt yourself, because those airbags blow up, they'll take your head off. Or smash your face and all kinds of nasty stuff. Anyhow, so think a little bit safety first, read up on how to get those airbags out. Again, I don't have to deal with this because my airbags have already been removed. And so kind of the players are, is this guy here, and there's one up there. There should be 4 of them. There's probably 2 down there. I think there's 4 of them, but I'll show you as we go along. And then we got to get this bar out of the way. And you can see the back side of this, they welded a nut on. And so this is the same deal here, but this has already been removed, so you'd have to take that bolt out. And then looks like just these 2 tops here, so I'm going to take those off and see what happens after I remove those 2 screws, or those 2 nuts there. I'm thinking that'll just get that bar out of the way for me. Okay, so here's what I've done so far. I removed these nuts here. They just look like this. They kind of got this wide washer welded on them, and take those off. And I think those were 10 millimeter. And then I just took those bolts off of here. Again, the one on the bottom is already done, and that got me this bar off. You'd probably just leave all this stuff clipped up, because if you're going to put it back together, if not, they just got, you just squeeze the bottom of these with like some needle nose, and these will pop out. And so next I need to take off the steering column support beam there, and that bolt's already been removed for me. It looks like it's got 2 on top. I don't know if I have to take that bracket off, that silver one right here. Probably do. I'll just start taking the bolts off and show you which ones I take off. I'm going to go at it from the other side of the car. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to work on next, is taking that beam out. Okay, over here on the driver's side by the steering wheel, the fuse box bracket is in the way of these 2 12 millimeters to get that deal off. So right here there's a 10 millimeter that comes in through there, attaches to the wall. I just took it off, put it down there. And then there's another 10 millimeter, same deal, it comes in the sideway, hooks that off. So after I took those 2 10 millimeters, that allows me to kind of wiggle my fuse bracket over so I can get at those 2 12 millimeters there. So next I'm going to break those 2 loose. I already loosened these up top, just haven't taken them out. And again, I said that side one's already out, the one right there in the middle. And so that's my next job, is to work on all these 12 millimeters. I was looking at, still don't know what I'm supposed to do with this yet. I was noticing it's bolted on here. I probably have to take it off. So yeah, that's more and more looking like that. So definitely going to take these 2 out, those 2, and then I'll get back to see whether or not I have to take these ones out. Alright, so I took those 2 out, took the top 2, and it does look like I need to take these out. They just look like 10 millimeters. I just want to show you something that's kind of cool. The reason why I like working on, I enjoy, I don't know, Hondas are so easy to work on. One of the reasons is, so far everything I've done, I'm pretty sure has just been done with these, I got 5 tools here. I got this really long extension. That's just because so I don't have to lean in there very far. And I've got a kind of like a medium extension, a 10 millimeter, a 12 millimeter in my ratchet. And so far everything I've done has just been with those tools there. And so I'm just going to grab, I have a box and 10 millimeter wrench, just because with my deep weld sockets on there, if I had a regular socket I'd throw that in the pile there too. But I'm just going to grab my 10 millimeter ratcheting box end wrench and get that and that other one out. That should drop the bottom of that off. But it's just kind of cool that I've done so far all this work with just those tools there. Okay, it's one more kind of hidden one here. It's right there. I don't know if that's showing up on camera. Right back here. See my fingers on it? That's just a 12mm. You can just shoot a extension socket right up in here. Hit that right there. That off. And that was holding on. And I took those bracket bolts off. And so I'm gonna need 2 hands, but it looks like it's just about ready to come out. Okay, show you a couple of tricks on this. I separated this. There's a little clip right there, and it goes in a little square hole here. So just kind of slide that forward, and then this bottom piece will drop off. And then these were right up in here. And the trick to getting this bar off, you have to get some pliers, squeeze this blue tab, which was right here, and it'll pop out. That'll separate. Again, yellow is airbag stuff. So then you just take this bar and you swing it kind of like this when it's in the holes there, so it swings up, and that'll just allow it to come right out, and then boom, you got your bar out. So it doesn't lift straight out. You can't get it straight out by rocking it. It'll then come right out. So got those bars off, and so we're kind of caught up to that point there. Okay, I'll show you a couple of things that I've got going on so far. Darn, I lost my screwdriver. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. So I put this down in here and lifted it up, and that made the airbox clear. Also, I don't think you have to do this, but I couldn't figure out, it didn't seem to make sense not to do this. I took the screws off. This is the air conditioning unit. I'll show you that. I took that screw off, and then there's one way back there. It's not that hole, it's just to that side of the hole. You can't really see it, but it's just a bolt back there. And I'll show you what's on the other side of this black box. So that's how you get your air conditioning unit. So I don't think you really have to do that, but I was not 100% sure. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this. So that's how you get this air conditioning unit on it. Normally you'd have all this stuff hooked up there and you wouldn't want to break your seals and stuff. So you could probably do it just by loosen it to help you get some clearance. Now, you can see that these have gone in. So I'm on the right path. I've actually gotten it pull in a little bit, but it's kind of stuck and I'm not sure why. Anyhow, I'm really close, so I think there's probably a cable or something I'm missing inside there that's holding that in there, but it can almost come out. You see, I've cleared the bolts up there and it's almost coming out there. I'll have to get in it with 2 hands there. And there's probably a way to do it without taking that off. Maybe you're supposed to take these clips off and pop this top cover off. Maybe I'll play with that just to see if that's what you could do. Yeah, that's probably what you're supposed to do. Because, you know, you definitely wouldn't have to pull your AC out to get to that center thing. At least you shouldn't have to. Anyhow, so I'll pause it. Just want to show you where I'm at right there. Okay, I found 2 things that are showstoppers. There's a little plastic rivet thing that went into here. Now it's kind of holding the bottom thing. So remember I put that screwdriver and it's prying it off that way? Don't mess around with that. Just take this rivet out. And also there was a gray cable. I don't know if you can, here it is. I don't know if that was a player. I'll get back to you on the gray cable thing because I think I didn't have to take that off. But it was attached around here and I couldn't tell if that was attached to the back. And I don't think it is. But once I got that rivet off, this will come off with the unit. See the whole thing? Whoop, just fell out. There you go. So, no, yeah, see, there's that gray cable, so you don't even have to mess with that. Just pop that little rivet out, which the other end of it was holding into the base there. And then once you did that, it came right out. So I'm hoping you don't have to mess with that AC unit. You shouldn't. I did loosen it up, so I don't know if that was a player or not, but I got a feeling if I would have Known this rivet thing was in here and gotten that out sooner, it would have been a lot easier. In fact, you want to take that out almost in the beginning. Yeah, anyway, so there you see I kind of got it out. Let me swing around. I'm just going to take this unit out. I think it's all disconnected. I'll let you know if it's not, but I'm just going to take it out and put it outside. Alright, we got success. Hopefully it's easy sailing from here. It looks like, you know, here's, you remember looking in the engine bay? And it was upside down, it was like that. When I first started, that bolt was in the engine bay. I took it off. There's that cable, and there's this where we cut the heater hose off. Well, that just goes right inside. And looks like you just start taking Phillips screwdrivers off, and you got to get this cover off there. So that's what I'm going to do, just grab my Phillips screwdriver and pop that cover off. I figure I'll let you guys see what I'm doing here, because it'd be too many little 1-minute shots, and we'll just see how this comes off. I figure so. Put down my screwdriver and can find out. So I'm thinking, just looking at this, it looks like this has to come off so I can get this bar off. Hopefully that's a good camera angle, I can't really tell. I'm just going to swing that to the side. I'm going to take this bracket off. Here's a little trick. Put your parts back as you take them off, that way you can find where they go. So I'm just going to put this in here, your bracket. I will undo this. Trying to get away without having to take this one off, but looks like I'm going to have to take it off. The reason why I ain't worrying about those screws is they're all the same, so it kind of makes sense. This is kind of weird. There's a little Phillips screwdriver. I'll get mine will fit in there. It's kind of interesting how they put this on here. You just take this little screw out. That slides off, and I'm going to put it back in. Attempt to. So I don't lose that little screw. But there you go. This is what we were after. So there's a good heater cord. Let me see if I can see what I'm looking at. So we got the heater core out. This actually is in pretty good shape. Oops, dumping water all over. But so, in the reverse of all that would be to put all that back together. Right there. So that's how you get a heater core out of a Honda Civic. So I hope this, if you said take on this challenge, it would be quite the job, especially taking that dash out. Although don't be intimidated by that. I mean, the dash will come out. If you saw I took out the support bars, that's kind of like the whole dash is like that. You just got to get in there, start taking bolts off. One of these days I'll eventually do a dash job on a Civic, and I'll show you how to take that out. It's pretty involved. That's why this is such an expensive job. Because then you got to put all this together, and you got to worry that you didn't mess up that air conditioning unit, which would be hard to mess it up, but could happen. But anyway, so I hope this helped you out, and if you like this video, hit like, and if you subscribe, you'll see more how-to videos when I get around to them. Thank you